Okay, now that we have completed the present URL approach, now let's try to upload the files directly to S3 from API gateway without having to use any Lambda function. If you remember the architecture, we will have the API gateway, and using the S3 access points, we'll upload the files to S3. So in order to do that, let's create another path from here, from the root. So I'll name it as direct CC for cardio care. And then the bucket name. So instead of bucket name, we will be giving the access point. Next is program type. And subfolder. And finally, the file name. Remember that whatever that we have given in brackets like this, that will be changing. But if we give anything without brackets, that name will be static, like we have given for direct CC. And now let's create a put method to upload the files to S3. So now I'll select AWS service. The region where the S3 bucket exists is US East 2. Remember the properties, clicks US East 2. So you should select that. The HTTP method is to put, and the US path override. This is the most important thing. So we are trying to upload the file to cardio care subfolders. So therefore we need to have cardio care access point for that. So API gateway does not recognize the access point ARN. Therefore, we need to copy the access point alias. So let's copy the access point alias and we'll give it here. So if we are connecting directly to S3 bucket, we can give either the bucket name or the access point ARN. And if we are giving the bucket name, we'll just give the bucket name here. Even though we have defined the bucket in brackets, we still need to give the bucket name as static here for path override or access point alias. And then the program type, the folder, and the file name. And the role, let's use the same Lambda execution role that we have created for presend URL, because this role has enough permissions to get put and delete objects using these access point ARNs. So I'll copy this and let's create this method. And after this, let's add the URL path parameters like we did for presend URL. The first one is bucket. And likewise, you can add other path parameters. You can pause the video and add them. Okay, I have added all the path parameters and let's save this. Oh, I forgot to select the S3. Okay. Okay, now let's deploy this. Okay, we have deployed it. Now let's try to copy the URL and form the URL. The next thing is direct CC, because if we come here and for the put method, the first one is direct CC, and then the bucket, instead of bucket, we have given the access point alias. While we are defining at the URL, we need to give the access point name. So the access point name is just cardiocare AP. So I'll just copy cardiocare AP. Slash cardiocare slash new, because it should follow the format we have used. for the objects. So this path has to be the same. And let's give build.jpg. Copying this, and let's use Postman. It's a put request. Okay. So I have uploaded the file in CardioCare. So build.jpg, it is uploaded to CardioCare. New. So now let's try to upload a file which is bigger than 10 MB to test if API gateway will allow it. So let me copy this and use put request and copy this. Instead of build, let's use build2.jpg or maybe a PDF file. Let's upload a PDF file. I'm uploading a 20 MB file. Okay, it says HTTP content length exceeded by 10 MB. So you see that API gateway is unable to take the file which is about 10 MB. So that's how we know that API gateway doesn't allow direct uploads beyond 10 MB. And that's why we are using presend URL approach for files about 10 MB. So now let's create resources for Neuropulse and OncoTrack subfolders as well, because we have the access point aliases for both of them. You see the access point aliases for both of them. You can pause the video and create the path similar to like resources like this. So instead of direct CC, we will add direct NP and direct OT at the root. Okay. Okay, I've created paths for both Neuropulse and OncoTrack as well. So if you see the direct NP for Neuropulse put method and integration, I have set up Neuropulse access point alias and also the path parameters. Likewise, for direct OT2, I have set up OncoTrack access point alias and the path parameters. Now let's deploy this. And now try to upload files to Neuropulse. Neuropulse access point name. Neuropulse national hash receipt.jpg. Likewise, let's do it for OT as well. Track. Then upload, so it has to be a put method and binary. Let's select a JPG file. So before uploading, let's make sure that we don't have any file in Neuropulse. Okay, there's no file here. And let me upload. Okay, now refresh this. We see that the file is uploaded successfully. Now let's try to upload it to OncoTrack. Let's create. And make sure that we don't have any file in OncoTrack. It's empty. Put request. Okay, now let's refresh this. See, the image is uploaded successfully. So a few things that you need to keep in mind when we are creating the resources for direct uploads. We need to have the access point alias in the put request. And one more thing is, if I have a name, a dynamic name here under direct CC, we cannot create another dynamic name under direct CC. So even if I try like test, create resource, it wouldn't allow me. You see, a sibling bucket of this resource already has a variable path. Only one is allowed. So under any resource path, it should have only one dynamic resource name. That is one important thing we need to keep in mind. Usually people try to just use a Lambda function instead of AWS S3 here. And using the Lambda function, they will upload the file to S3. Sometimes it will be tricky because the Lambda function does not understand the file type. So Lambda uses base64 encryption and uploads the file to S3. And in the API settings, based on the file name, we need to change the binary media types. So if it is image file, we have to set up image, JPEG or PNG. And if it is PDF, we need to change the media type settings to application/PDF. And the Lambda will recognize based on the API settings. But in our use case, we want to upload the files, any type of files. So therefore, we have given star/star, and we are not using any Lambda function for direct uploads. We are just directly uploading it to S3. Therefore, I have created different paths for different program types. So in this way, it is very convenient for us. We can upload the files to corresponding access point folder names. So there will be no encryption required. And once the once the URL path is set up, then we can upload the files directly to the corresponding subfolder. So this is how we upload the files directly to S3. I have used access points in input request. We can also use the bucket name instead to upload it to S3 directly. So next we need to set up authorization. In the next video, I will show how to set up the authorization using Cognito identity pools.